Good morning. Well, I had grand plans today to do an outdoor activity, but as you can see, the weather has scuppered that. So I thought, what can I do instead? So I've come to the market town of Buckingham with the aim of showing you why actually this beautiful little town in the north of Buckinghamshire can actually serve you a few hours of pleasure out on a day trip, even if the weather is as grim as it is today. So let's go and explore what Buckingham has to offer. So typically it's stopped raining just as I'm about to go inside, but one of the main reasons I wanted to come to Buckingham today and explore it, having lived around this area for many years and never really getting to know it, is this place behind me, Buckingham Jail, which housed prisoners back in the day and is now a museum. So it's right slap bang in the centre of Buckingham, and I'm going to go and take a look, see what it's like. So here we are in the Buckingham Jail Museum. And the first thing that strikes you is this place is old and it's slap bang right in the middle of Buckingham Town Centre. And on display they've got so many different artefacts of the history of Buckingham and the surrounding area. Really interesting, and for people who've lived in this area and probably don't know the history of the place where they live, it's a great place to come and learn something about Buckingham and those surrounding areas, and indeed the history of this great old building. So I'm really looking forward to having a walk around now and seeing all the different exhibits that are on offer. Lots of people, of course, are familiar with the Great Fire of London, but it turns out there was also the Great Fire of Buckingham in 1725, which destroyed some 138 houses and left 500 people homeless. It's depicted here in the museum with a map, and you sort of think back to those days and wonder how on earth they coped, but I assume they probably came together as a community to help rebuild, and Buckingham is of course the thriving place that it is today. So I'm going to go into a bit of a darker area of the museum now, one of the jail cells from when the Buckingham Jail was operating, and the story on the door is Dippers, Drunks and Poachers, and it's the story of William Varney, who was incarcerated here. So let's take a look inside and see how the camera likes it. It's very dark in here, but effectively they've mocked up to show this chap sat on his bed, which I very much doubt you'd be able to see. But it's you can imagine just how dark and dingy it would have been in these places. Probably very, very uncomfortable, certainly compared with today's standards, that's for sure. So that was a great visit to the Buckingham Jail Museum there, and entry prices for 2023, £3.50 for adults, £2 for children, and under fives getting for free. I've just spent a really interesting time looking at all the exhibits, and I think that's well worth the money. So now that I've finished that bit of the tour and the skies have brightened ever so slightly, I think it's time to treat myself to some cake and coffee in one of these glorious little coffee shops that Buckingham has to offer. So after a really pleasant morning in Buckingham, having a wander around the town, the skies have cleared ever so slightly, and I've come to one of the local coffee shops for some coffee and churros with a caramel sauce, which I'm led to believe is fantastic. So I'm going to sit back now, take a little bit of the weight off my feet, but in all honesty, go and explore your local town, because I've never really explored Buckingham before, and I should have done, because it's a great town with a great heart, some great little independent businesses here, and if you come you can spend a really pleasant morning or afternoon wandering around the town, and of course at night it's a completely different place with all of the different restaurants, bars, pubs that are there for you.